Hello. So net neutrality, huh? I guess it's no more. I've I've always been for net neutrality, which I think means I'm not a libertarian because I want the government to protect me from big scary corporations. I also want them to protect my speech. I want them to protect everyone's speech. I want them to be able to allow uh, people to fight online if they want. I guess I'm in favor of the government stepping in whenever corporations kind of get too big for their britches and start dictating how we live our lives. Like at this point, I might think it's reasonable for the government to do something about Twitter since they're kind of acting as a public sphere, but it also does seem like it might kind of fix itself over time, and we may grow more resilient over time if we allow Twitter to continue their crap along with Apple's like stuff where they're trying to stop white supremacists from using their platforms. I kind of think it's weird when you advertise your platform as being more secure and better, and then you say some people can't use it. I don't really care about white supremacists. I don't care if they all burn in hell, but that's God's decision, not mine. And I don't think that's up to Apple either. The other overstepping of boundaries I've seen a corporation do recently was with Magic the Gathering, Wizards of the Coast. People who make Magic the Gathering, they intervened in this petty bickering between online personalities and banned a dude and took all his assets from his account. That's Jeremy. Maybe I'll make a longer video about that. When corporations do things like that, I really would have no problem with something bigger than the corporation stopping them. And I guess that's why I've always been in favor of net neutrality. It's always seemed like a no-brainer to me. I'm like, why would you be against that? But I guess it comes down to like philosophical core issues, like the reason we're against that is because we're against this other thing, like it's a slippery slope type thing or whatever. I don't consider myself very educated, but I got my own things I value. And so I'm disappointed that apparently that's not happening. I don't know, I barely pay attention to the news. I just see people arguing about it online. The thing that really annoys me, though, is this is maybe an unfair judgment, but it seems like a lot of the types of people who are okay with corporations stepping in, banning people for hate speech or like deplatforming people, no platforming people really, because they take it down to an almost microscopic level when they go after somebody. When these mobs of internet people go after people who offend them, they don't just fight them on their own terms. They kind of go underneath them, and they go to anybody who might have anything to do with them, and they punish those people too. And I think that's, I hate that. So I'm just making an assumption here, but it seems like a lot of the people who are okay with having essentially a nanny state run by corporations are not okay with corporations deciding how their internet traffic is handled and what they want to charge for. It seems like a fundamental contradiction. I don't know, but like I said, I'm kind of a retard. Maybe I'm misunderstanding the whole thing. Thankfully, nobody watches my channel, so I can be a retard here. But basically, I want net neutrality. I want the government to step in. I want them to be my mommy when it comes to free speech or toward not being the victim of a monopoly. I really value. I guess I'm kind of a loser. My last video was all about being a loser, so I can never envision myself being at the head of a corporation except in my fantasies. So, maybe if I was a more ambitious dude, I'd be like, whoa, hey, corporations should be able to do what they want. Free enterprise, man. But, that's just my own position. So, maybe if I achieve some goals, maybe that'll shift over time, and eventually I'll be like, whoa, hey, free enterprise, man. Market's gonna work itself out. But right now, no. I don't want Comcast and AT&T to be able to decide this stuff. And the thing that really sucks about it, I make conscious efforts to avoid these corporations whenever possible. I use T-Mobile because from the jump, they have a kind of eccentric, wild CEO. They kind of do things a little different, and they seem to do stuff that's genuinely in the interest of the consumer, and I really like that. But I also use Sonic Internet because I really wanted to avoid using AT&T because they seem to have a monopoly in this area, and I was lucky enough to get Sonic. But it turns out Sonic actually uses AT&T's backend, if that's the right way to put it. So I'm still basically giving money to AT&T just through Sonic because they have to rent the space from them or whatever. It's like, gosh, it's really inescapable. If it wasn't inescapable, maybe I'd be more in favor of the companies being able to make those choices. But it just seems like a lot of times we can't escape them. We can't escape their grip. And maybe that whole free enterprise thing, maybe allowing them to abuse their powers, what it takes to start getting the competition to come in. But I'd be happy if that would just be stopped right now, and they would be stopped from having the control they do. I don't like what AT&T does. Based on my internet experience with them, I never even considered using them for my phone line. So T-Mobile all the way, Sonic all the way, which unfortunately is part of AT&T or probably Comcast depending on the area. But try to support those companies even if we can't escape, I guess. I have nothing left to say, and I hate myself, and I wish I never made this video. Gonna put it online anyway. Maybe somebody will find it and call me a fag! I'd be so terrified if I just looked outside and saw somebody looking at me. Oh, God. Why do I do anything? Maybe if I just keep playing and recording this forever, I'll never have to exist again. Jesus. I'm sorry I wasted your time.